All right, and now welcome back to the My Parents Office podcast. I am your host, Andrew Diaz. I am joined by my co host and producer, Brett Castle, via Zoom tonight on this beautiful Sunday evening. I don't know how it is down in Jersey for you, but I mean, it's perfect up here back in Connecticut.
It's been cloudy and rainy all day.
It's going to be rainy tomorrow. We're going to be getting that tomorrow.
Right now, it's actually the sun's coming out, which is kind of funny since the day is almost over. But it's been pretty cloudy most of the day.
Yeah, it was a sweet
That's
day
okay once in
driving.
a while. That's
Driving
okay.
back was pretty sweet, the weather, but before we get into all that stuff this week, so we've got the state of the office right now. The interviews are still kind of working out for this week. I believe Brody Limerick, the East Catholic forward that just committed to Quinnipiac, will be joining the show. Possibly interviewing Elliot Good from Central Connecticut State Baseball. But there's a couple others in the air. We definitely want to get JR back on. We're going to get Rob Namdu back on. So there's some still in the mix right now, but there will be two interviews this week. Count on that. So, but other than that, we're just going to hop right into it. How has your weekend been?
It's been good. It's been 90% of me glued to my television watching MMA. Um,
Oh, shit.
I got out of the apartment for a bit today. Went to a mall that was pretty close to me. Went to a couple of cool collectible stores. A lot of cool things. It was like very obscure, like went from like action figures to signed posters, like the Sopranos one that I sent you.
Yeah, that Sopranos one was sick. That one was
So
awesome, dude.
there was a bunch of cool boxing stuff there. Nothing that I would have wanted that was in my price range.
No,
Um,
like how much, for example, like so the Sopranos poster for those listening, it was a like the Sopranos like TV cover, and it's just autographed. I'm assuming Gandolfini autographed it.
it was the whole cast.
Oh, the whole okay. So how much was that running for?
It's about 1,500.
Wow, wow. Okay.
It was a
Whew.
legit store.
Yeah, that sounds pretty. There's a place like that up in Maine in I think it's Kennebunkport or Kennebunk. They have it's all sports memorabilia, but it's all just pictures. That like there's some from like the 2004 Pats Super Bowl, like all big panoramic pictures like that, and some of them are autographed. So it sounds like that, but just with everything. Like some, so there was sports, TV, movie stuff like that there.
Yeah. It was a lot of pro wrestling stuff too, boxing stuff, a lot of movie stuff like old TV programs or TV guides.
Hmm.
A lot of like knick-knacky things. But it was a big store. There was a few of those in the mall. I can't remember the name of the store, but it was one of those stores that there was one of those stores that had like all the hyped up shoes, like those Yeezys that I sent you. those
That when I
those
went to
fucking
Albany, there
clogs.
was like three places like that where you could buy the pre-owned Yeezys and stuff like
Oh, these
Yeezys
weren't
and
pre-owned.
oh really? Oh yeah, this one was like a big pre-owned. There were some new, but there was like in this mall up in Albany, there was like three stores the exact same like it. I was
Yeah,
shocked
no,
that more than one was even in business like that.
nah, everything there was dead stock. Some of them with not even like the laces in them yet. A lot of hyped up clothing like V-Lone and crap. It was cool. It was
Mhm.
cool to walk around. It was
Did you
cool.
pull the trigger on buying anything?
It was some fun window shopping.
Fun window shopping. Okay, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Eventually, it would be kind of cool to own something like that, like some cool. I don't know what actual colorway they were, but it was UNC type Jordan ones. I don't know if it was actually that colorway, but
Mhm.
there are some ones that were pretty cool. Looked at the price, about $500. So I'll take out my wallet that day.
You look at them, you're checking them out, then you just put them right back where they were, and you just kind of walk right out of the store, do a quick
Yeah,
180.
I don't want the embarrassment of them seeing me just look at them and walk away. So I ask if they have something in my size, and then once they go look for it, I leave.
Wow, that's a dick move.
I didn't actually do that.
I was gonna say that would have been
No.
funny, but that's a dick move. That's
Uh,
actually like the perfect way to get out of it. But you are like you just can't go back to that store for like a month now if you had
yeah.
done that.
Oh, there's no way he's gonna recognize me. I was probably like one of 100. Yeah, whatever. There's probably a lot of people that just walk around that store.
Gotcha. So you did that. I was up in Maine this weekend. Went to the Kirk Minahan live show up in Madawaska. And for those who don't know, Madawaska is about as north as you're going to get in Maine. It's up what?
Why did he have a vent there?
So it's a big thing from the show. So his producer, who's no longer the producer there, he actually just quit. He claimed he grew up in Maine. He claimed that he played tennis up in Madawaska for high school, and they didn't believe him. And then he also always said he wanted to run like a bed and breakfast when he retires. This is the producer. So he said that like, oh, I could take all the like 150 Minifans, bring them up to Madawaska, pretty much ice fish with them for a day, and like cook for them. So they did it 2 years ago they did it in 2020 in the winter and did ice fishing in a blizzard and stuff like that. Then COVID happens. Now we're back in 2021. We do it in the summer. We were just up on a beach. But so the whole backstory is from his producer saying he played tennis up at like the Canadian border pretty much. But so my friend Kevin and I, we drive up. And at one point, we're driving through Madawaska. And you're pretty much, when you're on Route 1, you're running parallel to the border of Canada. So our clock kept switching over in the car and on our phones to like 1:30, then 12:30, 1:30, 12:30. It just kept going back and forth. I was super confused by that, but
Sketchy.
we talked to a bunch of locals that were just riding around on ATVs up there. We're like, why does this keep happening? They're like, oh, well, when you get close to the border, your phone begins to roam, So we figured that out pretty quickly.
You're like, do you have a phone charger? Like, no, sorry, eh?
No, sorry, but we got some maple syrup for you,
Let's go play some hockey.
Let's go. Yeah, we're gonna go play some hockey, But so we went to the show. They did it up on a beach, on Long Lake in St. David, I think, Maine, which is just south of Madawaska. But I mean, it was so Kevin and I stayed in Sebago Lake the night before. Then we drove up Saturday morning, which was a 5-hour drive. But once you get past Portland, it's like you can go 95 up there. Literally, just you're hauling. I mean, we saw, but it was weird up there. It's sketchy because
How close for you to Canada?
at one point, literally, probably.
Could you have peed in Canada?
No, I was probably 300 yards from Canada.
That's close.
Yeah, it was. And so the borders shut down too, so nobody could stay in hotels up there, which is a bummer. But yeah, so we drove up, but like at one point you hit like 100-mile stretch where it's 2 lanes and you're just covered in by trees. Like it's dead straight pretty much. And we saw a couple deer, almost hit a couple on the highway. And at one point we saw like a dead horse on the side of the road, which I'm assuming there's no wild horses up there, I'm guessing.
That was somebody's car. That was the Amish car.
It must. Oh, that's actually a good point because we had seen Amish people at about that same point. So that's actually, you just cracked the case on that.
There's an Amish man hitchhiking as we speak.
That's a bummer. That's a big bummer for him. But yeah, so we did see Amish people too, which was kind of a shock. But other than that, I mean, the show was great. Kirk's a great entertainer. So, I mean, it was an awesome show. And we drove back the full distance today. So, like 9 hours from Madawaska. Kevin and I woke up in the motel at like 4:50. We're on the road by 5:15 and just going bombing like 100 down 95 south and just trying to get back to Connecticut, which is honestly driving through Lawrence and Lowell were worse than driving up in that desolate area. It is the worst area, I think, of the state to drive in.
You cut it. You were frozen for like that story. So
That's great. All right. Yeah, I just got the internet connection still. So if you heard that or not, that works. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it was a good time. Like I said to you before, I never want to be that north in a while up that point because it's like there were DVD stores up there. Like
FYE today, just to walk around and just seeing the overpriced DVDs were wild. Like
crazy.
I don't I understand why people still sell DVDs. Like, you don't want to throw them away. But the fact that they were selling Everybody Loves Raymond, the complete series, for $130, no, thank you. It costs less than that to buy a TV and get Netflix.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or
but
whatever that's
like
on.
this was like what I don't even think it was like a thrifty like overpriced DVD store. There were a couple of them, I think Bull Moose or something they're called. These were like Blockbuster stores, like a
Oh, so
different,
it's like a
like a legit movie
yeah,
rental store,
that's
which is
wild.
crazy. We saw I think the first one in Waterville, and then a couple like up near Route 195 connect, and I don't even know where it was, maybe Mars Hill, Maine or whatever. But yeah, they're like I said, they're like 30 years behind because they had everywhere you go, you have no reception. So I mean, if you get like stranded out there, you're fucked. There's no other way to put it. You're just gonna die.
Lovely.
Um, did watch some of the fights the other night.
What did you watch? I was like 9 and so I started kind of sent you a picture through Snapchat. I started putting all my predictions through Word doc. I already did next Saturdays.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
I did pretty well. I did better than half.
Better than your college wrestling predictions.
Anywho, those aren't bad.
They were all right. They were mediocre.
The college wrestling ones were picking two people out of like a 22-man bracket.
Well, at one point we just picked them out
33.
of four.
Huh?
At one point we just picked them out of four. We were like, all right, who's gonna make it to the finals?
Oh, out of semis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched a little bit of the Nate Diaz one. Honestly, that's about all I watched.
In my opinion, Nate Diaz had a moral victory. Bro hasn't fought since 2019, and he went the distance and kind of almost had Leon Edwards at the end with the number 3 ranked guy in the country. That's a moral victory. Like he didn't get dropped. He did get Leon did connect a good amount, but that's what you kind of have to expect from Leon Edwards. What do you think about it?
Well, it felt like Leon Edwards dominated for 4 rounds, and then Nate Diaz almost caught him at the end. That's just how it like. That was about all I could really get from it. Is that like,
Well, that's
if the fight goes a little bit longer, Nate Diaz probably wins it because he caught him so late.
well, Nate hasn't fought since 2019, and Leon's on a 10-fight win streak right now.
It's a bad fight for Nate to pick up. That's my opinion.
What?
I said that's a bad fight for him to step into.
You say that, but Dana said that if he won, they get the title shot. So it wasn't really much of a. It was a win-win, honestly, or it wasn't much of a lose-lose. Like if he won, he gets a title shot. If he loses, you're like a 4-1 underdog because you're fighting the number 3 ranked guy who's on like a fucking tear right now.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, because like I think a lot of like that Nate Diaz can use that as an excuse because he hasn't fought since 2019. But
he's not using it as an excuse, thankfully. His excuse is he was supposed to fight 2 months ago, but I believe it was like an injury during training, like a cut or something that pushed it to this card. So he got his full training camp done prior to that fight, and he didn't really get a real training camp for this one. So that's kind of the his reasoning for his loss. But he's not really making an excuse, and he's saying that he wants to fight in 3 months.
I mean, I went to bed probably around like the end of that, and I woke up this morning with like a Bleacher Report alert from it, and it's like it says this picture of Nate Diaz's face explains how the fight went, and it's his face just completely bleeding from like the side of his head, from his nose, from his like just everywhere, all over his face. He's bleeding everywhere.
Again, that last fight 2 years ago, that fight ended because of a busted open cut.
So he just needs to have tougher skin, is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
Just like
Nate Diaz's biggest opponent is Nate Diaz.
Not even Nate Diaz, just Nate Diaz's skin.
Sorry, my apologies.
Like that's like if he just stops bleeding, he'll be okay.
Yeah, I'll ask Johnny to tell him that.
Yeah, let him know. I told him that. He'll respect that opinion.
Okay.
But what was the other fight? Because that was really the only one I kind of care about. I know there was.
That was the first ever. So just to go in order, that was the first ever 5-round non-title fight,
Mhm.
5-round non-main event. Dana White made it pretty clear he does not want to make that.
Make that a theme.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get pretty used to that, which I understand that. Like, I read that this pay-per-view was the longest fight time ever. So if you added up all the fights together, it was the
It was like 8 hours, right?
Huh?
It was like 8 hours, right?
No, I don't mean the whole event. I mean like the amount of time that they're fighting in the octagon.
Yeah,
Like, add all the fights up, it was like 3.5 hours.
that's crazy. Damn.
That was like a record. The
It
other
was
two,
the first Mexican champ, right?
yeah, the co-main event was Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno. Dude, I was fucking loud, and I feel bad for whoever is under me. I was excited, man. So Moreno and Figueiredo both fought around like last November, and then they both won their fights pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Scheduled each other to fight in December. That fight ended in a draw. Part of that being a draw is because Figueiredo landed like a groin shot, which he got deducted a point. So
Gotcha.
point deduction, it was a draw, which scheduled the rematch for yesterday. And people were pretty much expecting there was no but like Moreno was a legit underdog.
Mm-hmm.
People were expecting not only for it to go the distance, but people were expecting Figueiredo to be like, no, I'm the man. This is my division, and probably put him away. It wasn't like Moreno caught him or anything. He was dominant from like the first minute of the fight.
Yeah,
He
right from the jump.
finishing, huh?
I said right from the jump, he like got on
Right
him.
from the jump. He won in the third round with a rear naked choke. But he won the first round, and I'm like, okay, he got one. He really only needs to win 2 more. Okay. Wins the second. It goes into the third. Figueiredo is still like he's not catching up. I think he does get a takedown. Moreno gets on top pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man, it was great. A lot of people say Moreno's like the friendliest fighter they know, and it's great to see someone who's who cares so much about his culture and representing his people, and is just well around known as being a really great guy. And his backstory in the UFC, he was ranked the last on the Ultimate Fighter. He was seeded last, got cut by the UFC, and then he had 2 fights, got cut, got hired again, is on a 4-fight tear, and then gets the championship. So he's got a good story. Figueiredo, I thought he was going to be kind of a dick after the fight, but he was really respectful. I don't know if you saw the picture of him holding up Moreno, which was pretty cool.
I didn't see that. I'll check that out. Check that one out. But yeah, it seems like Moreno is just an all around good dude, like a guy that honestly, even if you're like not a fan of UFC, somebody kind of like myself, where I'm not a huge fan, like that's a guy you still want to root for.
He's just a regular dude. He's a guy that collects Legos and like Funko.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then the middleweight, the main event was Adesanya versus Vettori. Now, did Vettori call him out after and say he wants to fight him again in New Zealand?
No. Izzy wants to fight Robert Whittaker in like around New Zealand.
Oh, okay. Because
Whittaker was originally offered the fight, but he said no because he just had like a 5-round war with Kelvin Gastelum. So that's why he said, give this one to Marvin. Mine will be right around the corner. So I think they're kind of looking around like October-ish maybe for the next one.
I saw that was another thing. Like I saw a Bleacher Report, so I just assumed Vettori called out Adesanya after the fact.
No, Vettori called out Paulo Costa after the fact.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which I don't even know. I don't even know if that's going to come to fruition because Costa's been a bitch recently.
Now, what was this fight like? Was Adesanya dominant right from the start, or was he kind of slow getting into it?
From the first round, he connected a really good amount, especially with the low leg kicks. Corey took him down in the first round, and there really wasn't much going on in the first round. So that's why I kind of wouldn't have been surprised if that first round went to Vittori. But it was a 50-45 fight. Like every round went to Adesanya. He connected so much. I believe Vittori might have taken him down between 4 to 5 times, but he did no damage once it went to the ground. So his plan was wrestling. Like that was obvious. His plan was to wrestle Adesanya, pretty much do the same thing that Jan Blachowicz did.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very impressive to see Adesanya's grappling once he got to the ground, because he's not known as a wrestler, as a grappler, but once he got to the ground, he did a pretty good job defending himself. He's got to sweep a couple times. He got up to his feet. He did a little bit of damage himself. He's becoming a lot more of a all-around fighter, which is cool to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. It sounded like an exciting Saturday in the UFC last night.
There's one more I want to mention. Terrence McKinney, who fought 9 days ago for LFA, was offered this fight yesterday.
Crazy.
Knockout in 7 seconds, broke the record for the fastest knockout in the lightweight division. And then during celebration, he was up on the cage and dropped and injured his knee.
Oh my, are you serious?
Not he didn't seem to freak out about it. He wasn't able to put weight on it, but he's like, I think he just had to stretch it out. There was no report of it being a serious injury, so I think he's going to be fine. But that's someone that's going to be pretty he's one of my favorite fighters now.
That's crazy though that he was fighting. You said what, he fought 9 days ago and then just got offered this fight?
Well, yesterday would have been 8 days ago. So it was
a
turnaround.
That's crazy. That sucks.
I mean, that's just how important it is that you have to be on your A game all the time. Even these smaller territory shows, they're important. A good performance, one of those, and you can be offered a UFC contract right there.
Yeah, no, I mean, that just sucks. Having I don't mean it sucks that he got to fight again, fight in the UFC and then win like he did. I just mean it sucks. I think the making weight part of it definitely blows, having to go through that process on such a short notice right after you just fought to fight again.
Yeah, I don't know how tall he is. He didn't seem like a big guy. So, but you're definitely right.
Yeah. What was he fighting at? What weight was he at?
It was lightweight, 155.
Okay. Gotcha.
I still have my predictions up for yesterday.
Yeah, out of those 4 fights, did you hit on all 4 of those? How did your scorecard go from those 4 fights?
Edwards, Nate Diaz, I got right. Figueiredo, Moreno, I got wrong. Nobody expected Moreno to win, but there are a few on here that I guessed correctly or incorrectly, but I wanted a certain person to win.
You went with it's. I do the same thing when we do wrestling. There's a lot of guys that I want to win, but I think logically a lot of the time, when a kid, I want to see a kid from Rider or a kid from Cal Poly win, but if he's going against a kid from Penn State or Ohio State, I kind of know where I'm gonna pick.
For sure. Figueiredo, Moreno, I guessed that Figueiredo would win. I was incorrect, but I was happy I was incorrect.
Yeah.
Vittori, I guessed correctly. Because we just talked about the other one, Frivola versus McKinney, I guessed correctly. I guessed correctly on that, or I guessed McKinney would win just because sometimes those few really good, you're on a roll, you get a knockout 8 days later if you have another fight and you get another knockout, sometimes you're just on a roll.
You just stay hot. Some guys
exactly
know how to stay hot and can kind of channel that energy and go from, because some guys would just probably be worn down and get ragdolled in the fight versus some guys they're just going to come out and you channel that energy and just be ready.
Yeah. So because I knew his story, I predict that he would win. Chase Hooper versus Steven Peterson. I really guessed Chase Hooper would win. I wasn't too confident on that one. He lost, but Chase Hooper is a 21-year-old kid. He's really bad in stand-up. His striking is terrible, but even from his last fight before this one, it became pretty known that he even if he's being dominated for the whole fight, he can turn it around pretty quickly just because of how good his jiu-jitsu is.
Mhm.
But he wasn't fighting no slouch, and he did get I think it was a 30-27 fight. So, but Chase Hooper's pretty optimistic, and after the fight, he said, "Time's on my side." He's 21 years old; he'll be fine. Um, Damien, the last one I want to talk about is Damian Maia versus Bilal Muhammad. Damian Maia, you probably heard that name, maybe. He's just known as one of the best grapplers, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in MMA history. He lost yesterday pretty convincingly, and it was his last fight on his contract. So yesterday was probably his last fight ever. I did guess he would win just because the only people he has lost to recently are like top 5 guys. So it wouldn't really be fair just to say he would lose because of his age. But he did lose, and he didn't lose very close. So
Yeah. So, eventful.
sorry, I talked a lot there.
No, all good. Eventful weekend in the UFC. Which is always fun. I mean, especially I'm not like a huge UFC fan. I like watching the fights, but I honestly could care less about some of the fighters. Like whenever a guy's walking in the ring, if it's 2 guys I have no clue who they are, I just automatically at one point I'll be like, oh, that guy came out to music that I like. So like that's who I'm riding with. Or I like that guy's shorts.
Figueredo came out.
Or if there's any wrestler involved. If a guy wrestled in college, that's who I'm picking.
Yeah, there's a 2-time All-American from Oklahoma that wrestled Friday night. But Figueredo came out to the Mission Impossible song. I thought you would have liked that.
That's awesome. I do love that. That's sweet. Oh, what was I just gonna say? Jesus. Just lost my train of thought. Just thinking UFC. Yeah, man, I just lost my whole train of thought. Oh wow, yeah. Okay. So have you added I don't know. Have you added to your record collection since you've been down there yet?
I haven't yet. Excuse me. There were I've okay, so I think it was Friday. I went to this bookstore. It was like a bookstore / record store.
Mhm.
It's so fun. It's really hard to go to a record store that has like rap vinyl.
Yeah.
The ones that I want, I'm gonna have to order from online, and I just haven't got to that yet. Like I just haven't had the time. I already know the next one I want to buy online, the Method Man 421 album.
Mhm.
But one of the collectible stores I went to today had a bunch of vinyl, but they were all like really old, nothing hip hop related. I don't know. I haven't not looked. Nothing just came like nothing was worth buying.
Yeah. Now what's the most recent one you had gotten?
It might have been the Tycho album, Method Man.
Oh, okay. Now what like honestly, what's like why I don't think we've really covered why you collect them. Like when did you kind of start with that and like what really was the first thing that got you into them?
So I bought my first vinyl before I bought the record player. I bought Enter the Wu-Tang probably like half a year before I bought the record player.
So you bought it just to be a poser is what you're saying?
No, I bought it because I wanted like I love Wu-Tang, and my first goal was to collect all their vinyls.
Okay.
Why do I collect vinyls in general? I'm not even collecting it. I don't even have a good amount to say it's a collection. But I bought that first one because I did want to start getting them, and I have to get one. Like once I got that first one, I'm like, well, now I have to get it.
Yep.
I don't know. I just like their story so much that I don't know. I don't think I have a great answer.
Hey, I can tell.
Hey, fuck you. I don't know. They're just fun to collect. They're fun to like. I love the vinyl covers, especially the Method Man ones and the Raekwon ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something kind of fun.
There's still one out there for you, kind of like what would be 3 that you really want to get your hands on? Wu-Tang or not? Like What are three that you're still
Well, I
trying?
really want My Beautiful Dark Twisted Romance
That would be an awesome one.
because of like that vinyl, not just the cover, but I've seen it opened up so many times. It's beautiful. Like Kanye's, I don't exactly know what artwork is going on that cover, but you open it up and it's like 4 different designs. It just looks really cool. It's a great album. Vinyl in general, they just say sounds a lot better because it's not a condensed file, not a condensed sound. So certain parts of the music you can hear better on there than like an MP3.
What Kanye's cover art? It's kind of sucked the last couple years, I think. Like with his past couple albums.
Kids See Ghost wasn't bad.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more just his albums. Like the Kids
Ye
See.
was ass.
What's up?
The cover of Ye wasn't good.
No, it was kind of it was kind of dumb. I didn't like the one. What?
But it was him. Like,
yeah.
He's like in Wyoming, right? Like spends a lot of time in Wyoming.
Yeah, he's got a ranch out there.
Yeah, and those mountains on Ye were the Wyoming mountains, right? So it wasn't a great cover compared to his other covers, but in that time frame, it was him.
I wasn't a fan of the Jesus is King one because it's just a record, a blue record that says Jesus is King on it.
I agree.
I mean, like his first three are tremendous with College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, because they've all got the bear.
I mean, even Jesus isn't great.
No, it's not. 808s and Heartbreak actually might be my favorite one.
Oh, really? Really? Okay.
You're not a fan?
What?
You're not a fan?
I'm not a fan. It's just a lot more simple compared to like the first few. Like that's the one that's just like the gray and the heart, right?
It's the two hands ripping the heart apart.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it that I like, but My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, that one it's blocked out like on Apple and stuff, but when you buy the vinyl, there's actually like the picture of the person on there.
What do you mean it's blocked out on Apple?
It's like pixelated, I'm pretty sure. See it?
Yeah, okay.
But like what when you get the vinyl or like you see the actual album, there's the actual picture right on there.
Yeah.
And Life of Pablo actually is probably my least favorite.
I agree. That's the orange one, right?
Yeah. It's I think a picture of Kim K's ass, a picture of like maybe Kanye's parents getting married. It says Life of Pablo and then says which one on it a bunch of times. I mean, good album.
What?
I said good album, bad, not great cover art.
It's not a great album either. There's certain songs on there that are pretty good, but it's not a good album in my opinion.
There's like you said, there's a handful off of it that you can like I said it's a good one. But for him I think it's a bad one compared to what he's put out. But compared to any other rapper would put out, that would be a good one for them.
Did you see that he unfollowed Kim K and her whole family on social media? It's pretty fun. Yeah.
So that's like official that's done.
Yeah, I mean he's been seeing somebody else for a while now. So.
Did you ever hear the thing about him and like Jeffree Star? I don't. I think it was like debunked, but like for a while, like the shitpost websites like Daily Mail and stuff like that were posting.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah, the ones that it's legit journalism when they're popping up on your Snapchat feed. That's the hard hitting facts right there. They get right to the issues right there. But so that was like going around for a couple of weeks, and they were like, wait a minute, this is just remotely not true at all. But that breakup's an odd one. It's a very strange one to me. But I mean,
I don't see it that way. In my opinion, I'm happy for Kim Kardashian. They're not like staying together for the public appearance.
Yeah, I think it's more to me bizarre that they were together at one point. Like I think that's what I'm trying to say is that it was bizarre when they were getting together, but when they were together, people began to just kind of accept it like as this couple. So now them kind of breaking it off and like they're not going to be together anymore feels odd.
Well, for us, it was always kind of normal in a sense because when they first started dating, we were young.
Yeah.
So it was just part of Kanye, like us growing up.
Yeah. Do you think that had like how much of an effect do you think she had on his music? in general?
When they first started dating.
I don't know, so figure out when they first started, like when they first got together, and I can pull up that album, like that timeline.
All right.
Um, I mean, '08 would kind of like make sense because that's when 808s and Heartbreak came out.
Official. Oh wait. But didn't become official friends since 08. The couple began dating in 11.
So they become friends in '08. That's when 808s and Heartbreak comes out. But that was
So that has
probably,
nothing to do with it.
yeah, that I was gonna say that's been in the works. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was in 10. Yeezus was the next one in 13. Unless,
What's
hang on.
after? And then what year is Watch the Throne?
That was 11. I just checked that. So in reality, I think the one that really follows that is Yeezus.
Yeah, I don't think that's related at all.
Life of Pablo kind of does because
Well, we're just saying like he has a downslope in music, but when like I don't think it's any connection to Kim Kardashian.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it was because of the way that they were living though, because in a song like Wolves and Real Friends, he kind of talks about how he dropped everybody and he's just like with his family now. I mean, that's definitely got an effect, him becoming more of a family man, which comes back to Kim K. I don't think it was a direct effect, but he has a lot of songs like in his music you can tell.
All right, maybe the substance of the songs can be traced back to Kim Kardashian, but I would say his downslope in quality.
Oh, I don't think that's had anything to do with it.
No, I think that could even go more to like his celebrity status.
Yeah, I mean, because he really,
You think about those first few albums, especially that first one. He wasn't very known at that point in time.
no, it's honestly College Dropout's the first album. I think of an event like when he broke his jaw in the car accident. That
What year
that
did his mom die?
um, I don't know. I'll look that up, but I find it.
2007. So
That was when Late Registration came out.
okay, so that was already in production then.
Oh wait, Graduation maybe. Yeah, that was when Graduation came out. But like in '04 when College Dropout came out, he had broken his jaw in the car accident. That's where Through the Wire comes from. It's crazy that happened before he really even had that type of celebrity status.
That's my favorite song on that album.
That one is a really good. I'd go Spaceship. That's mine off that album. I did my actually for his birthday. I did my Kanye Mount Rushmore of songs. I wrote it. So I did where is it? Where is it? There it is. All right. So I put it's Spaceship as my number 1, Hey Mama as 2, Homecoming 3, and Monster as my 4. But honestly, like I could go over that in like a week and probably take out all 4 of those songs and add a different 4 just because of how much the music like caters to your taste.
Yeah, for sure.
What would you like on the spot? What would your 4 be? I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Watch the Throne. No, I'm sorry. Through the Wire. Um. Oh, hold on.
I tried to do from
Not even
different
my favorite Kanye song. Hold on, I gotta. It's on Graduation.
Um,
I just looked up the word graduation.
is it one of the bigger ones off of there?
No. Oh, I don't. It's Wonder. I don't have to look it up.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's my favorite song ever, to be honest. It's like it's such a common flow. It's like a choppy flow.
Yeah,
So many artists use it.
slower, which is nice.
What was that?
I said it's slower, which is nice.
It is slower. I think the first Kanye song I ever heard was Stronger.
That was like around the time we were, I think. That came out in '07, so like that was a big sports song for me like in when I was growing up.
They used to play it all the time at wrestling practice, like Coach Willie.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that was like you heard that all the time on the radio too. Like that was a huge hit for him, which is crazy.
I don't know if it's my favorite. I don't know if it's on my. I think it's in my Mount Rushmore, not because of it being one of my favorite songs, but because of it being like what made me love Kanye, what made me like dig into his other albums.
That's stronger, you're saying?
Yeah,
That makes I
like
mean that does make sense. I'm trying to think.
strong.
That would probably be the first one I ever heard from him too. Like that would make the most sense.
Yeah, like stronger probably made me find Wonder, but
Mhm.
yeah, but out of impact wise, I would say it has to be on there. Um,
The first one that like really got me into him was All the Lights because it was like a 2K song. Like that was used in a ton of video game soundtracks and stuff. So like you would always be hearing that, which I thought was pretty cool. And so you got one more spot at number 4. What was that?
Guy with Lupe.
One more time. You cut out. I'm sorry.
Touch the Sky, Andrew Diaz
Oh,
featuring Fiasco.
that's a good one. That is a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, his music's just so diverse. Like it's crazy that you could go through and through with all his through his discography and just absolutely change it up every time you go through it. But
I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and he was saying that um, there's always a part of a Kanye song that you can like. Like, even if you don't like what he's saying in the song, you can respect the production most likely. If you don't like the production, maybe you'll find something he's saying like funny or a good flow or something like that. But if it's an album or song, there's probably always something you can like from a Kanye song or album.
I feel that way about Kanye and kind of with Eminem too, with like albums like Recovery, Relapse, Curtain Call.
I mean, I love Eminem. Like, there's not much of he doesn't really miss much for me.
They're like he has, I think Recovery, I go through it. That's a no skip album for me. Like there's not a song on there I'd skip. And that goes the same for an album like Curtain Call.
That's fair.
Even Marshall Mathers LP too. Like when Eminem, like the most memorable thing off that for me is in not Love Game. Rhyme or Reason. He starts rapping like Yoda, which is no other rapper is gonna do that, which is absolutely nuts. So stuff like that just sticks out to me, makes me like him more.
Yeah, again, like I said, finding something you can like and said the word funny. There's a lot of funny parts of Eminem songs. If you're
Oh
not an Eminem like fan, he's a funny dude, and his lyrics are pretty funny. Like,
well, he's got a song like "Fack" on the same album of like as "When I'm Gone." Like a song about him killing himself is the same song about like a gerbil going in his ass, which is pretty hilarious.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. But have you gone back to the little coffee shop? Actually, I was thinking about that before.
I checked out more coffee shops. There was one about 2 miles away from that mall today. I think it was called something Tulip. 1 second.
We got to get like you doing videos in coffee shops and like picking out the things you hate about it and just berating the workers there.
Um, Sorry, 1 second.
No, all good. This one was near your house too, or near the mall?
I mean, both. The mall is about like 9 minutes from me.
Oh, that's not bad. So you're in a suite. It seems like more and more stuff is popping up around you every week when we talk.
Yeah, you just gotta find my friend Google. Oh, the Twisted Tulip.
The Twisted Tulip. I like that.
It was interesting the way you access it, like the main door. Um, it was as if like the main entrance was like 5 doors worth. Like, it was weird. Like, I don't know if they close it down with like a garage door, but I don't know. It was weird. It was odd.
That's awesome. We definitely next time I'm down when I'm or not next time when I get down there, it's Wawa and we'll hit one of the coffee shops down there.
Yeah, I got some milk at Wawa. Actually, I got a burrito at Wawa today.
That sounds awful.
Okay.
It sounds like it would make you sick. Like I can go with a grinder from
It's
Wawa,
not a gas station burrito.
but it's just about.
What you mean? They literally make it.
Is it like a Moe's where you go up and they make it for you?
Well, you don't pick what you want. Well, you pick what you want on the screen and they make it. You don't just pick it up and like pre-made burritos. It's not a wrap burrito in the freezer.
Oh, okay. All right. I can get
Have you
behind
been to Wawa?
once down in like I think South Carolina. We went to one. So that was a couple of years ago when we were down there.
Yeah. Well, clearly you didn't get a burrito.
No shit, I didn't get a burrito.
Did you even get did you get food there or just get like a drink?
Just, I think probably like Gatorade and ice.
So you didn't even like get what makes Wawa Wawa?
No, I didn't. That's why I want to hit one.
Oh, okay.
So that'll wrap up episode 86. Is that right? That'll wrap up episode 86. If you haven't, go back and listen to episode 85.
Or all of them.
Yeah, or all of them. Just like, honestly, what I want you to do as the listener, put your phone on, charge it at night, start at episode 1, and just have all the episodes play through until you wake up. You don't have to actually listen. Just like put the volume very low and just go to sleep with that on. 8 hours, you'll get through a bunch of episodes. So just do that. Just do that for us, for the culture.
You might even sleep better.
Yeah, that's actually no. It is proven that it helps you sleep better.
Yeah,
scientifically proven. You need it doesn't have to be up all the way, but it needs to be up a little bit, just so you can faintly hear me and Brett talking. But other than that, like I said, t-shirts are on sale still. Gray with black writing, My Parents' Office, $12. DM me or Brett or the My Parents' Office account on Instagram. Or if you have my number, just text me. We can do payment through Apple Pay and Venmo. And then we've got Substack, Articles from the Office. Go subscribe to that. Tom just wrote a pretty good blog about celebrity boxing and why it sucks. Oh, actually, before we wrap up, that's what I want to
Oh, God, we're not talking about this bullshit.
I lost my train of thought, and I came up with the question about your vinyls. That's what I was talking about.
I'll start. Ready?
I'm ready.
So Friday night I know you're talking about what happened yesterday, but Friday night I watched Bellator and Invicta at the same time.
Yep.
Laptop and TV. Invicta ended first. So on my laptop, I found somebody streaming the Lamar Odom, Aaron Carter thing. And thank God / oh no, it was time for the main event. At the same time, I switched over. These things gotta stop. Like Lamar
Odom was the sixth man of the year. He made a ton of money in the NBA, and now he's fighting like the brother of a Backstreet Boy.
Yeah, he's like,
what's going on?
Yeah, well, never mind like their status outside of that. There are weight classes for a reason. I don't give a fuck if it's for a celebrity thing. That dude is like a foot taller than the other guy, and he looked like a child. He looked like his adopted son. Like
Maroto's massive.
He's a large person, and like
he's probably a guy that's like 6'2" next to him, and he's gonna look tiny. Like the guy's gonna look tiny. Odom's a 7-footer.
I mean, my favorite part is that Chuck Liddell was reffing. So
it's so random, but like I didn't even.
That was in Jersey. I think I would have went.
That would have been cool if you went. That would have been awesome video content.
But I also probably wouldn't have because I'd rather watch Bellator on my TV at home than go.
I completely get that.
Than watch Ice-T commentate.
But the YouTuber TikTok one, I didn't even watch it.
I didn't watch it.
Bryce Hall got knocked out or like the shit kicked out of him.
I don't even know who these people are. I really don't. The only people that I know that were there were Paige Van Zandt and her husband, Austin Vanderford. Like, those are the only people I know that were there.
It was a shit show, I heard. Like, and then people were tweeting about, like, this hurts Bryce Hall's brand.
Who is Bryce Hall? Who are these people?
He's a TikToker. Look him up. You have a computer in front of you. Look up Bryce Hall.
I'm not going to do that because I don't care.
So, he's a TikToker.
One second. I have a friend who was working that event. She was working, like, the stream. And she posted like a picture on her story, and I'm like, oh Lord. And she's like, this is the most embarrassing gig I've ever had. Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, so Bryce Hall is one of the TikTokers that has like 1 million followers on the app. He got like knocked out. So people were tweeting Brett has left the camera. If you are not watching on YouTube, Brett has left. But yeah, so Bryce Hall gets knocked out, and people are tweeting that it hurts his brand. This does nothing against Bryce Hall's brand, just off the fact that kids are still going to watch him dance on TikTok. And this probably gives him the sympathy card that he got the shit kicked out of him because his audience is all like teenage girls. So they're going to feel bad for him. But with Brett leaving, this is, I think, is going to wrap up the. Oh, Brett is back. There we go.
So fucking stupid.
So you heard me off mic, right?
No, I wasn't listening.
Okay.
Yeah. You were saying how. Well, actually, no. I was on the phone with somebody who was watching it while we were on the phone, and I can hear what's going on. It was right after who lost.
Bryce Hall. That's the only one I know.
He that's the dude that lost in the main event.
I guess.
Okay, well,
there were main events. I just assumed it was all one big event.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like the last fight.
I guess so. I didn't watch it. I just saw that he was the one.
Well, whoever lost, he said his excuse was, "Well, I'm not a fighter." Dude, nobody on there is.
What are we doing here? What are we doing?
I'm not. It's not for me.
It's not for anybody.
I've kind of grown. I think my opinions have changed a little bit because I've grown to even get a little bit excited for the Jake Paul Tyron Woodley. I don't hate that as much.
I'm kind of excited. That's actually one I am a little excited for.
Because there's also a legit. Oh, one more thing I want to talk about. Tyron's a legit fighter, way past his prime. But all right, so Floyd and Logan Paul, they just got about like just over 1 million pay-per-view buys, which is good. But apparently, like the people running that event were very upset that it wasn't close to the Floyd Pacquiao numbers. Please explain to me how that makes sense. That
it doesn't. I mean,
no, like
one was for a guy to go, what was it, 49-0 or 48-0, fighting against a legit boxer, like a guy that's also a top guy in the entire world. The other was a Floyd who's essentially a legal midget, fighting against, or at least that's how he looked standing up against Logan Paul, fighting a YouTuber that is 45 pounds heavier than him and 4 inches taller. So,
oh yeah, I just thought that was funny because I think
what dummies were saying that? Like the people, like the production.
I think
staff?
People close to Showtime. Like I think it was legit people saying that.
That's such a dumb thing to think that you would even sniff the amount of pay-per-view buys that Pacquiao Floyd or even Conor Floyd got.
Yeah, well, Floyd Pacquiao was a legit dream fight for a lot of people. And Floyd Conor was a legit, like, what's going to happen kind of. I guess you can say the same kind of thing for Logan Floyd. Like, just sole curiosity. That's kind of what they're hoping to bank on. But
Conor was a legit fighter, though. Like
he's a draw also.
Conor was
like
dominating the UFC at the time. And he crosses over. That's where more curiosity comes from, because it's like, well, can this guy's an all-around good MMA fighter. Can he just bring striking to like boxing? Like, how will he adapt to just boxing against one of the greatest of all time? It's not a matter of can this YouTuber hang in with Floyd Mayweather, which to his credit, he did, but there's no weight. There were no weight classes too, is what you were saying before, like with the Lamar Odom thing. So
yeah. Yeah.
So for the third time, we are going to be wrapping this up. Like I said, t-shirts on sale, $12. DM me, Brett, the show account. Payment on Venmo and Apple Pay. And then we've got Instagram accounts and Twitter accounts at my parents' office. Substack, articles from the office. YouTube, the link is in the bio of the Instagram account, so go check that out. Bunch of all the interviews that we've done, those are actually going to be uploaded pretty soon. I'm going to upload more of them. And we've got our own little, like the wrestling roundups, the college documentary Owen and I did that we're hopefully going to start back up soon, maybe for the fall. But other than that, I think we covered it all tonight for episode 86.
Gonna start uploading previous interviews. I don't know if that's what you just said.
Yes,
All right.
that is what I just said.
Hold it.
We are actually, what's crazy is we're 14 episodes away from 100.
Yes.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I wonder how long it would take to get to 100 if we were going the same pace we were originally at.
It would have been 100 weeks.
Well, no shit.
No, Brett, do a little dance for the camera for you.
I'm not going to do that.
We're close to 100. Do a little jig. Come on. Come on. Dance for the people. JR Specs is going to be playing us out, but we've got Brett dancing, I think. Come on, get in the camera. Let's do a little dance, Brett. We'll talk to you later.